It'll find you. You just made them.
Yeah.
The easy ones, they just want you catch and throw.
Yeah.
Catch and throw. So, but it's we talked about it, like I said out there. It's just small little things. Figure out how to fix those. Scoring the first thing like we've been doing. Don't let up. Keep adding on and that are good, and probably some college level arms at some teams. We're Jekyll and Hyde a little bit right now, but we had a long season. We definitely have a long season.
Yeah, it's it seems all these games. What's your plan? Not you don't really nothing ever goes to plan, but what's your goal oriented with your bullpen as far as what are you looking out of your starters these next two?
Brennan Horton is a kid that's a senior that he'll go tomorrow and hopefully be able to get us through 5.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of the plan. You hope any pitcher can get you through 5. If they can go a little bit more, then great. It's still early in the season, so we're not going to tax their arms as much. We want to see where we can push them a little bit.
Yeah.
Bullpen-wise, I mean, they got to grow up. I mean, everybody's getting their chance, and, they're just going to have to get in there. And, again, you pitch to contact, you throw strikes, you make the routine plays, and then let everything else take care of itself. And that right there will benefit pitchers. As a screaming, yelling guy, somebody that can kind of just place people in the right spot, and then get them in going in the right direction.
Yeah, that leadership you talk about, it ain't got to be Johnny Rah-Rah.
Nah.
Johnny Rah-Rah is not always your best leader. Sometimes he's annoying.
Yeah.
Your leader's that guy that with the ball's hit, he's going to make the right play.
Right.
And, you just kind of watch what he does.
Yeah.
You see how he handles himself.
Trust me, I told him out there a minute ago, if I don't have a jersey on my back, but I promise you I'd do everything I could to get out there if I could still do it. And,
absolutely.
And, the coaching staff and everything, that's why you do this. You're leaders in that area, and we're trying to teach them how to do that too. Some kids can, some kids cannot. Some kids do it different ways. Some are quiet, and they can lead by example, and then some kids obviously do know how to talk to the others and get them to go the right direction. But like I said, we have a good team. It's just we got to get over that hump.
Yeah.
Got to get over that inexperience level and just compete. That's the biggest thing. Is just compete.
And luckily, this run of back-to-back-to-back games, it seems kind of does back off a little bit. You start having more of a gap before you get into region play. So you're hoping to get these pitchers stretched out enough coming into region play. And all 3 can go 5 innings. And then you got your arms in the bullpen, your Cole McLemores, your Hudson Kings.
Yes.
I was impressed. I didn't get to talk to you after the weekend game. Brennan saved your goose by going 5 innings on Saturday after the tough Friday night, a tough game 1. And then Jacob Eber came in late in that game and really pitched very well for a sophomore in a tough situation.
Jacob didn't even have a chance really to warm up. I mean, he went to the bullpen, and by the time the inning go, you're in. And that's what's going to happen sometimes. We have some young talent, and that young talent may be in a position, and to where you're not always at the luxury of having a pitcher only. They can go to the bullpen and warm up and do his routine. It's like, hey, you got to come now.
Yeah, that little league warm up.
Yeah, and you get your 8 pitches a minute, whatever it takes, and now we go. But the name of the game is still throw strikes, pitch to contact, make routine plays, and that's not going to change. So, as long as we can do that and keep building, and we do that at times, we just haven't put the full thing together yet.
Yeah, and if I'm going to give a compliment to another young kid, I'll do one for this game. McEldoon's at bat.
Yeah.
And you're trailing. A lot of kids, you just want to throw in the towel. It's the 7th inning. It's getting a little chilly out here like it normally does at night. You're down by 6 runs. You got every reason in the world to just go up there, down 1-2, 0-2 in the count. And the kid battles back, gets a walk after fouling ball after ball with the kid throwing pretty hard.
Yeah.
And when you're a freshman, you got to think a freshman's 14, 15, and a senior's going to be 18-year-old. So the difference you got there, and for the way he battled to show, not just roll over like some teams would think, a kid would do especially. I thought that McEldoon.
But that's a testament to him.
Yeah.
I mean, he works, he's just everything correctly to some degree. And if he doesn't do it right this time, he's going to do it right the next time. And that's, like I said, that's his work ethic. That's his, mindset of wanting to be better. And he did that, and it showed in that at bat because he went up there, and that's what I told him before he went up there. I said, look, fastballs hit fastballs, swing, do not sit there and leave the bat on his shoulder. And like I said, he was successful.
Yeah, he has the great at bat. Even Brooks, who came up, he fouled a couple off. Saturday, he had, I think it was a 3-1 pitch, and he just missed it. And you could see his face knowing that he just missed that ball with I think it was the winning run was on second base. And that just shows you, we mentioned earlier, when you're on a 5-game winning streak, that's a gapper. But when you're on a losing streak, you just miss it and foul it off, and it leads to a strikeout or a ground out somewhere else. So it seems you get that one pitch every at bat that you can hit. You hear that when you're 10 years old, and it's true.
Right.
I think you always get at least one pitch that you can handle. And right now, they're just missing, and it's early in the year. But, you know, a losing streak or not, I think this team has still got talent on it. I think they're still – you're playing tough teams, but you're playing them tough. You know, the Columbus game – I felt like we had a pretty good shot to win that game. Had one rough inning.
Right.
The Colquitt game too had one rough inning. That kind of. Then out here tonight, it just seemed when the wheels came off that one inning, it was just kind of hard to get the offensive side back going.
Yeah, no, that's been our MO, you know, this whole time right now. It's been, you know, we'll be mid-innings in a tie game, 5-5, 3-3, whatever the case may be. And then just you have that one blank that you can't get, and then they put up a number, and then, you know, you see them kind of deflated a little bit, but it goes back to, in my opinion, it goes back to the inexperience of the team.
Right.
Because we have, like I said, we have the group of seniors, but the inexperience of playing together or being the guys on the field, this is their first year technically.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a few here or there that played in the past, but and then you throw the young kids in there. So now they got to catch up with the varsity level arm and stuff like that.
Yes.
But it's just one of those things. You try to work on the team now.
Yeah.
And you try to get them ready for the region part of it. And it happens every year with everybody.
Yeah.
But you know, you seem to think you have a little bit more returning guys each year, and we're just not at that luxury right now. But they'll get it. I promise you. That's what it is. They're going to keep working, and then hopefully, like I said, we'll get some leadership and figure out who can, and maybe the young kids will. I mean, maybe they will. Maybe they'll take initiative and you know. Oh yeah, for sure.
And I think that goes for any sport.
Yeah.
If you're good enough, it don't matter how old you are.
No.
And we've seen that before. We've seen it out here at Harris County when Sammy Brown was a freshman. I know he moved on, but it's just seeing you could do it at any age. It don't have to be.
No.
You know, leadership's not cap saying you got to be an upperclassman to be a leader. And it don't, like we said, you don't have to be Johnny Rah-Rah to be a leader either. And so it's always interesting to see. I'm sure there's teams out there that have got concerns that are 5-0.
Oh yeah.
So you're never going to be just saying, you know, we're the only team in the state that's got concerns going on right now. And it's not really concerns. That's a bad word to use. It's just saying, you know what the issue is. We know where the problems lie. It's just getting it straightened out.
Yeah, the outcomes are the outcomes. I mean, our whole point is how we can get the best product on the field when it's time to have the best product on the field. I mean, if we make the playoffs, like I hope that we are, and I think we compete for the region championship, you know, when it's time, we obviously got to play better. But then that right there sets you up for a first-round playoff game at home. Obviously, you know, you can go as far as you want to go at that point. You can be, you know, 10-20, and you still may be one of the best teams in the state. You just might not have figured it out early. You get hot at the right time and go from there.
And when you look at the strength of this team, even coming in, was sitting on the stage last week at signing day.
Yeah.
You had your 3 starting pitchers. So you put a team with 3 college arms on that rotation. You get them arms rolling, and then a little bit of confidence on the defense behind them. This team could turn around really quick, and people don't even want to think about, like, they got some top-tier arms on this pitching
games. Our hitting is starting to come along a little bit, and we're putting more balls and play hard hit balls. And we talked about it before the show started was, you know, people scout. People find out who you have and who you don't have, and their job is to position people in the right areas. And, you know, you may smoke one down the line, and the guy's just standing there.
Yeah.
But they did a good job of their coaching to put the person in the right spot. And, you know, it's bad luck at times, and it's good luck at times. I mean, but, you know, like I said, when we're ready to play at the right time, I think our guys will be ready, and we're going to build off the little things that we're messing up right now, and hopefully it upsets them a little bit, because nobody likes to lose. I can't stand it, but you know, we'll get it right and keep working and see where we can go from there.
And real quick before we get off here, I do want to talk. I don't know if you wouldn't call it down on the farm, but let's talk about the JV team. Then you have your freshman team down here, and they just started their games, I believe, last week. So what have you seen for them so far this year?
So the JV kids are I think 4-0 right now. The 9th grade kids are 2-0 right now. You know, they bring a lot of energy. Both of them bring a lot of energy. And I don't know if it's just maybe they're undefeated right now, and that kind of goes with it. But, you know, kids can play over their head whenever they've won a bunch of games.
Yeah.
And then, they just, like I said, they're a really good team right now. As a second base, they hit a ground ball to second, moved the runner to third. Next guy does his job. So the selfishness is not there yet. Now, I'm not going to tell you it won't ever creep in because they're kids, but that selfishness is not there yet. So I think the team aspect and pulling for each other and just doing the little things correctly, it just hadn't been them.
Yeah, and y'all might make this mandatory, but I'm going to act like y'all didn't if you do, because I really like seeing it, how the JV teams sit together.
Yeah.
And they watch the varsity game for the first part of the game. Then you kind of see them start. But they do things, it seems they want to do it together. And, sometimes that togetherness is such a big deal in sports. And you see it, the JV team, the freshman team, they want to come up here. They're practicing down at the cage while y'all are getting ready for the game. And you see them just hanging out together. And I thought that was cool today. You look down and you see a big group of them, and they're all buddies laughing and stuff like that. Hey, you're 4-0, you're having a good time.
Yeah, that can flip.
Yeah, that can flip quick. And just like 0-4 can flip.
Sure.
You go to Brookstone tomorrow, you knock off Brookstone, get a win, especially if you find a way to get something that brings you together. Yeah. Close wins always seem to give that.
Well, and
together.
that's what, like you just said, that's what I think it's going to take. And I told them out there is no matter who you play, whoever your opponent is, figure out how to do the little things.
Yeah.
As the game goes on, maybe a squeeze, maybe a base hit, maybe a diving play, maybe a great pitch. Yeah. Something clicks at that moment, and now it's easy. Yeah. It's easy, and now we can stop making it so hard on the stuff that we're doing, and now you're successful. And then, like you said, you may reel off 10 in a row. You may reel off 5 in a row. Who knows? 2. You may do 2 in a row. I mean, it's just one of those things that you have to be able to get better and control what you can and move on.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to it. I've never been a negativity kind of guy. I don't look at any sport like this. When we're out here, I think Harris County's got a great chance at all the sports, and this one no different. And I do think, hey, tomorrow, baseball, you're always a pitch away. You're a day away.
That's right.
You're a day away from a winning streak in baseball, and I think that could be coming up. Coach, I appreciate you on the show. We're going to try to do this more often after these games. Monday, we'll be broadcasting the Russell County game on Georgia-Alabama Sports Live. So hopefully we'll try to do another coach's show afterwards. And just hopefully we'll have we can discuss a win after this one. And, hey, you never know. We could be discussing 3 wins in a row. Just how baseball goes. Yeah. It'll humble you quick, but it can also flip around and get you back cocky quick.
that one little bleeder that falls in, and now you got to win. So
that's all it takes.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, well, we'll see y'all next time. And thanks again, Coach. And this is Rick Beach with Georgia-Alabama Sports Live.